Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway have been building a secret position in Q3 and Q4 of last year. They got an exception from the SEC to not disclose it to the public because when Warren Buffett buys a stock, tons of people flock in to buy the stock as well. So what is that stock? We're going to go over that today, talk about the company, how many shares Warren Buffett bought, and what I'm doing with this company moving forward. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jason, and if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. On this channel, I'm never going to ask you to buy courses or do this or do that, buying all this crazy stuff that these other YouTubers do. I just want to give you the best information about the investing markets so you can make better decisions for you and your family. So I haven't looked into this company at all whatsoever yet, but if you look at the articles, here are Warren Buffett's top Q1 stock buys and sells. So we're going to avoid the sells right now. And Warren Buffett's mystery stock bet is Chubb. And Chubb is an insurance company. Reports of confidential stock purchases by Berkshire Hathaway have circulated since late last year. Those mysterious purchases made in Q3 and Q4 of last year became known through financial disclosures. Chubb joins several financial stocks in Berkshire's equity portfolio. It also aligns with Berkshire's operating businesses in the insurance industry, including car insurer Geico and reinsurer General RE. Chubb stock gapped up 4.7% to $264.88 last Thursday. Shares topped a $260 buy point from a flat base. In 2023, Berkshire exited several financial stocks, but it continues to have huge stakes in Bank of America. So, who the hell is Chubb Limited? What do they actually do? And why did Warren Buffett buy the stock? We're going to do a little digging together. Like I said before, I've never looked into the stock at all whatsoever. So I'm going to show you guys my process when I first hear about Warren Buffett buying a new stock, and I do my own due diligence. All right, if we go over to Chubb Limited's website, we get to see that they're an insurance company, right? As it said in that article, and they do all different kinds of insurance. They do cyber insurance, workman's compensation, liability insurance, marine insurance, accident and health insurance, management liability. So this company has a huge suite of different offerings in the insurance business. As you know, insurance has really good margins, and if you're not in like natural disaster kind of insurance for the most part, then you're going to be okay, and the businesses should make a lot of money over time. That's why it's really good for these insurance companies to have a well diversified suite of products, and it looks like Chubb has just that, right? So now the next thing I want to do is show you guys where to find this information. I love this website called Whale Wisdom, right? And what you can do is in the search engine, you can type in any one of these big funds. You type in Berkshire Hathaway, and then it'll report the 13F filings. It gives you the top buys and the top sells from the previous quarter, right? I like to click on See All Holdings, and then I go down to change in shares. And then you can really see, this is from bottom to top. I like to go from top to bottom, and you get to see what Berkshire Hathaway bought and disclosed in their 13F filings. So look, so it's 2% of their overall portfolio right here, CB Finance, and they own about 26 million shares, and they own around 6% of this company, right? So the estimated price that they bought the shares at is $240. Now, I want to go into Yahoo Finance and Google Finance and kind of see what this company has been doing over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, and what they've been doing recently. My first stop in breaking down a stock is always Yahoo Finance, right? I like to look at the summary, and then I'll move on to statistics, right? So they do pay a small dividend, 1.3%, which isn't a lot, and we get to see the basic numbers. The PE ratio at 12 is very affordable, and price to earnings ratio, their earnings per share, $22.49 per share. That's a big number, guys. That's a very big number. That is a really solid number. And if we go year to date, we can see the numbers look pretty good. You know, it like gapped up, topped at around 260, and then now it's at 275. bottomed around 245 after the news broke. So if you want to buy this stock, what you can do is you can sell cash secured puts if you have that kind of money. And then what you can do is kind of get into where Warren Buffett got in. So he started buying in the summer, Q3 and Q4 of last year. So he probably started buying in that $200 range. It has went up considerably since then. So you have to take that into consideration if you're thinking about buying this stock, right? Now we go into statistics and we can kind of break down where this company is financially. The PEG ratio is at 3.80, price to sales, price to book. These numbers are all pretty solid right now. Trailing PE is 11.77. For this type of company, anything under the 15 and 16 price to earnings ratio is pretty good for me. Right now, this company has a $107 billion market cap. So this is a very, very big company, right? And then the profit margins are right around 17%. And the operating margin, this TTM means trailing 12 months. So for the past year, their operating margins is over 20%, which is great. Return on assets at 3%. It's not super good. We want to see that in that 5 to 10% range. Return on equity, 16% is a pretty good number for this mature of a company. The revenue, $52 billion in the trailing 12 months of last year. That's a lot of revenue coming in. They don't have the gross profits on here for some reason, but the quarterly revenue growth year over year, this company is still growing at 20%. For this big of a company to be growing 20% is a great number. I like that number for sure. They have $7.6 billion in cash right now. Total debt, $21 billion. So the cash to debt ratio is not too bad, 33%. Which is not so bad considering the operating cash flow. The levered free cash flow over the last 12 months is around $11 billion. So with that free cash flow, they could eat up this total debt pretty good. So next, I want to look at the payout ratio for the dividend, only 15%. That's really good. So the dividend isn't that high. So payout ratios for dividend players, you always want to see it under 50%. That means there's room for them to grow this dividend over the years as well, in my opinion. The short interest is probably going to be really low. Yeah, it's less than 1%. Whenever Warren Buffett gets in a stock, shorts go running for their lives, right? So that's another Warren Buffett effect that happens. Any stock that Buffett owns, there's not a lot of short interest. So that's great for investors, right? The 50-day moving average is 252. The 200-day moving average is 229. So these are the buy ranges, right? Between the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. If you can get this stock under $250, I think it's a buy. Then I like to go onto Google Finance. They have a lot of really good visual charts. I'm a visual learner. So when I look at these numbers, it really helps me get a better understanding of the way this company is growing, right? So the revenue is pretty, on point, around $13 billion. It's pretty much in that range the last 3 quarters. And we want to see the net income. I'm sure they have better quarters than other quarters. I have to kind of get to know this stock a little bit better to kind of project. Is December always a more profitable month for this company, right? You want to kind of look at that and gauge that over the few year process, right? But they're consistently making almost $2 billion per quarter. In December, they had a great quarter, net income of over $3 billion in one quarter. That's great. And if you look at these year-over-year changes, it looks really good to me. I could see why Warren Buffett and his company like this stock around $200, man. So the revenue's up almost 20% year over year. Operating expenses is up 9%. That's not great. You never want to see operating expenses going up consistently, but we're in inflationary times, so their cost of doing business is going up as well. The net income is up 13% year over year. Net profit margin is down 5%. So if you see operating expenses go up, the net profit margins usually go down. Okay, earnings per share is up 22.68. So that means this company is being more efficient year over year. So that's great. EBITDA is up 38% year over year. That's really good as well. So this company looks very, very, very good in my opinion, right? If you look at the balance sheet, Cash and short-term investments is up 28%. Total assets is up almost 17%. And total liabilities is also up 14%. So they're taking out a little more debt. But that doesn't really concern me because they have like a 1-to-3 ratio of cash to debt, which isn't that bad. So I'm okay with that, especially because that free cash flow is in that $11 to $13 billion per year. So they're going to be able to chip away at that debt at an effective pace, in my opinion. So at first glance, this stock looks pretty good to me. So if you want to put this on your watch list, that's what I'm doing right now. It's run up considerably over the last 6 to 8 months. So I'm going to take a pause on buying shares. I might buy one share in my account just so I can track it. That's what I like to do. If I find a stock that I like, I'll buy one share, just kind of track the stock price. And if we start to see a decrease in price, and we get under $250, maybe I'll start nibbling and adding some more shares. But it's around $270 right now per share. So you're going to need like 25 grand to be able to sell a cash secured put. That's a lot of money for most people. So a lot of us won't be able to do that. So just watch the stock price. And if there's any big down days, then you can start to nibble away. Anything under 250 is a buy, in my opinion. Under 225 is when you really want to start to accumulate, in my opinion. So let me know in the comments below. Are you going to look into this Chubb Limited stock that Warren Buffett just bought? Remember, if you like these type of videos, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys. We're closing in on 1,000. Thank you so much for all the support. Peace.